How actors prepare for their roles. We've all seen actors completely immerse themselves in their characters to the point where they transport us to another time and place. And for some of us, that's why we go to the movies. But how do they manage to achieve it? Today's video looks at a specific acting approach that can propel artists to life-changing performances. We will show how some of the best actors in the world have prepared for some of their most iconic roles. Before we begin, we would like to ask you to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss out on the latest updates from our channel. Now let's begin. Acting comes in a variety of forms, each with its own history and roots. Some don't necessitate more effort than others. The method acting technique is responsible for some of the most incredible acting performances we've ever seen. A method actor wants to create honest and emotionally expressive performances by thoroughly entering the role of the character. Instead of classical acting, which is predominantly action-based, it is an emotion-focused practice. Lee Strasberg and Elia Kazan refined it further and introduced it to American acting studios in the 1930s. However, the technique was invented in the early 1900s by Konstantin Stanislavski, a Russian actor and theater director. Stanislavski did not coin the term method acting at the time, but his concepts established a framework for performers to create realistic characters. Stanislavski's method was to urge the actors to use personal experiences and memories to elicit genuine emotions and connect with the characters. This was in sharp contrast to the period's more traditional theatrical and classical acting. Method acting is a method of acting that produces such amazing performances that the viewer becomes entirely immersed in the characters' worlds. How can actors prepare for this level of performance, which for some performers is the most important role of their lives? An Oscar win is always a pleasant bonus, but it isn't the only one. And the craziness that accompanies method acting is real and often terrifying. Here are a few performers who prepared so thoroughly that their performances help define the art of acting. Number 8. Marlon Brando.
But let's be frank, you never wanted my friendship. And you were afraid to be in my debt.
One of the first performers to use the method acting technique is Brando. He is often referred to as the greatest actor of all time. To prepare for The Men, his debut role, Brando spent a month in a hospital bed, putting himself in the psyche of the crippled soldier he'd be portraying. In his best movies, he appears to be embodying the role rather than acting. Number 7. Leonardo DiCaprio. While filming The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio slept in an animal carcass. Even if a big-budget Hollywood film is shot in a tough location, the cast and crew usually stay in a good hotel with a bed to sleep every night. However, during the grueling and exhausting filming of The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio seemed to have gotten some rest in the stench of an animal carcass while portraying the rough and tough frontiersman Hugh Glass. When the movie came out, there were a lot of stories about DiCaprio smelling up, but let's take a deeper look at the origins of this narrative. The actor told Yahoo, "I can identify 30 or 40 moments that were some of the most difficult things I've ever had to do. Whether it was going in and out of icy rivers, sleeping in animal carcasses, or what I ate on set, it was all a part of the experience. I was continuously exposed to bitter cold and the risk of hypothermia." How's that for dedication? Number 6. Robert De Niro.
Salerno, Anzio, Sicilia, vicino Catania.
De Niro is noted for going to great lengths to accurately portray a character's persona. He takes method acting very seriously, as evidenced by several of his films. For the 1976 classic Taxi Driver, De Niro worked 12-hour shifts as a taxi driver, picking up in New York City during set breaks. This kind of commitment can be seen in all of De Niro's best films. For the last act of Raging Bull, De Niro underwent a tremendous tremendous physical makeover. While De Niro gained nearly 70 pounds, production on the picture was halted for months. In the 1991 remake of Cape Fear, De Niro played the menacing Max Cady. According to reports, De Niro paid $20,000 for dental work. He had his teeth ground down to make himself look more menacing. That, in and of itself, frightens us. Number 5. Hilary Swank. Hilary Swank spent a month living as a boy in preparation for her role as a transgender man in Boys Don't Cry. To feel more like a boy, she shed a lot of weight to make her cheeks look hollow, wrapped her chest and stuffed socks into her jeans. Number 4. Dustin Hoffman.
Relax. Come on. Open. Okay.
One of the major stars of the 70s, Dustin Hoffman, lost so much sleep while filming Marathon Man that he reportedly stayed awake for 2 days before filming a few sequences. Laurence Olivier, a legend at classical acting and a member of the cast, supposedly suggested, "Why not try acting? It's much easier." Number 3. Adrian Brody. The pianist's Oscar win was perhaps more of a relief than anything else. Adrian Brody didn't only lose weight or master the piano by studying for 4 hours every day to play the Holocaust survivor. He abandoned his entire existence and cut himself from civilization. He gave up his home and car as well as his phone and traveled to Europe to prepare for his character. He was also dumped by his girlfriend. Number 2. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Have you ever seen the devil, Mr. Proctor? No.
The dedication of Daniel Day-Lewis to the characters he plays encapsulates what it takes to be a method actor. He chose to live on set for his movie, The Crucible. The set was designed to look like a colonial village with no electricity or running water. Day-Lewis built his own house on set using only the materials available to settlers in 17th century America. To embody the character's historical period, he refused to wear a modern winter coat on the gang's New York set, which nearly cost him his life when he contracted pneumonia. He even had a butcher flown in to show him how to cut up carcasses, which was a spur-of-the-moment decision. And for Lincoln, who stayed in character from 7 months prior to filming until the very last day, he even texted with Sally Field, his co-star, only in character. Number 1. Heath Ledger.
No, you complete me.
In order to prepare for his role as the Joker in The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger locked himself in his apartment for a month. He practiced his laugh and scrawled his Joker-like rants into a notebook in his self-imposed isolation. After all, every actor who has played the Joker needs to embody a certain level of craziness in the role. His weird manner and utter avoidance of anyone who did acknowledge him as the Joker frightened everyone on the set. His near-perfect performance, method preparation, and thorough immersion served the role and the film well, but not the actor. His posthumous Academy Award honors the technique while also raising the question, was it worth it? If you see Ledger's father goes through his notes in the documentary Too Young to Die, perhaps your answer will incline towards no. Jack Nicholson, Christian Bale, Rooney Mara, Michelle Williams, Val Kilmer, and Shia LaBeouf are just a few of the numerous method actors. At one point or another, they've all completely immersed themselves in their characters in order to deliver the most authentic performance imaginable. It's debatable if it's always worthwhile, but there's no disputing the bravery. Whether or not it's always worth it remains up for debate, but there's no denying the courage, skill set, and truth the actors breathe into the characters when they choose to work in this technique. That's all for today's video. We hope you liked it. If so, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. We will see you in our next video. Bye!